Hey guys, Olifré here. Webcam! I know, man. It's been so long ago since I've last made a video. I'm thinking of using the webcam this time for a time trial analysis. And it's for a very, very cool time, in my opinion. A 2:16 on Maple Treeway. I finally got it. I was in the 2:17 region for quite a while. I only got 2:17, I think, about a year ago. I want to say around January. But I had the potential to get a good time for a while already. But since last week, I played this track randomly. This is one of the tracks that I like to do before I go online and practice a bit. I decided to try out the world record version of the JaK strat, and I actually started getting them. And I started to get good in laps. So it's like, alright, let's go for 260 then. Because the first run that I completed with the new JaKs was that 2:45 run. So my motivation was very high. I was like, alright, this shouldn't be too hard, let's do it. Took me a bit longer than expected, but I got it finally. And the run is not perfect, as you know. So let's take a look at it, and let's take a look at the weak points. I mean, you guys probably see where the weak points are already, but let's point them out, which is already actually right now. The lap 1 stroke, it wasn't very good. It was pretty wide at the beginning. I didn't get the stick landing when I was entering the cut, sadly. I can't remember, let me scroll back a little bit. Yeah, a small bounce on the first zipper, but that's fine. I can live with that, but just the second zipper was wide. Let's see how the rest goes. Let's approach the JaK. The JaK wasn't the fastest, but still alright, I'd say. Very good lock turn, very, very good. Had some bounces entering it. So, you see, I don't go for that mini turbo strat, right? Where you leave the lock turn and you immediately wheelie. Well, immediately release your empty and wheelie. The JaK set for me was pretty tough. It was most of the time the run killer for me. So I at least wanted to keep the consistency somewhat more in my hands, you know. So I decided to not go for the wheelie strat and just hold my drift, you know, the old 2008 strat. And it worked out most of the time. That was a good turn. Let's see how this goes. I had some bounces here, but the U-turn was very good. Now, this is the second thing that's weird, right? I don't go for the normal strat that every other run goes for, which is, you know, you land on the zippers and then you hop onto the blue zipper wall and then get a tight drift from that. It's the same reason I didn't go for that, and that's just to keep the consistency up, because I can get good laps with this. I mean, as you can see, as you saw, I got a 0.4 in my run with doing this exact strat, so I know it was possible getting the 216 with this, so I stuck with it, because most of the time I'm able to get these good U-turns like that, but they're a bit slower, I know, but I took it. Let's see, I got the semi wheelie, no air though, so that's fine. Low trick is good, that's fine, and now I got the low trick, or the triple net actually. It was a mistake, I was too much lift, and if you're too much lift on that right part between the trees, like, you know, the road curves, so it makes you go back to the left, so that was unfortunate. I had to hop, and then, yeah, as you can see here, I didn't get my wheelie immediately out, so it looked very weird. I didn't expect it. I just thought, oh, I'm gonna get the wheelie, so I was already holding right hand, but then in time I noticed it. I was like, oh, I have to correct myself now and activate my wheelie, but it's still an 840. Now, 840, that's a bit below average for me. Usually if I get the lap where everything goes somewhat to plan, I usually end up with like a 0.7, high 0.7, and if it's a good lap, like, okay, these things were good, 0.6. So an 840, wasn't too pleased to see it, but I understood it. You know, I had a re-hop and then a bad landing. But it was something I could work with, you know. I didn't have 216 at that point, so I wasn't super worried about getting like the best lap one you could get. I can still work with an 840, so I continued. Which is on a very good lap 2 shortcut, you know. Let me scroll back. Did I get air exiting the cut? I did still, but my alignment was still much to the left, so that's good. No bounces on the first zipper, and I stayed tight the second zipper too, so very good shortcut, very, very good beginning. And then if I remember correctly, my JaK here is also very good. Yeah, it's not the best one, but it's definitely a very, very good one. I'm really pleased having ones like those. The lock turn was fine, not that great, and here I had no bounces actually. I had a lot less bounces on that wiggler section, so I was able to release my MT a lot sooner than I usually would. But I kind of messed up there, and my alignment was too much to the middle. It wasn't right enough, so I wasn't as tight as I wanted it to be. That sometimes happens when I don't get that many bounces. I don't expect it, and then I don't try to overturn to the right, and sometimes I just misalign, mispredict how long I have to turn. And this was just one of those moments, you know. And then here, sadly, I don't know, I didn't get the right bounces and didn't stick enough to the wooden part, and my turn was very wide here. Luckily, though, the zippers were good, and then this U-turn was fantastic. For me, this version is pretty much the perfect U-turn, because I land, don't get bounces on the zippers. I really stay. It's like I'm a magnet to the ground. It's really funny. And then I get my U-turn very, very tight. So that was great. So I was looking very good. At that moment, I was starting to get pretty nervous. Just because of how good this lap 2 was going. I was like, whew, this lap is going pretty well. Even my lap, though my lap 1 wasn't very good, I still knew like I'm on a very good pace now. Sadly, Gaseous drop, of course. Now, how I do the wheelies is I usually, I just time them, you know. I listen to the wheelie sound, and based on that, I know, okay, I have to activate my wheelie now. And I also look at how fast actually my wheelie comes out, because sometimes you can get like a insta wheelie coming out of the mini turbo, and then you know you have to shake early. Here I just mispredicted. I just barely too early. Now what saved me here was air on the bridge. For some people that don't know, is if you get air on the bridge and you land on the part that goes down. And something market tweets very weird, but if you land on the part that goes down, you get back your normal wheelie speed. So if you look at the speedometer there, I'm all of a sudden from 86, 87 to 95, 96, which is the normal wheelie speed. So that saved me. That saved my lap. There are only, I want to say, a few other spots, if not the only spot in Market 3 where this is possible. Can't think of any at this moment, but it's good to know. Aim for the air, and then you're gonna be good. Okay, not the best slow trick, but still fine. This was kind of slow though. Like my turn entering the net section, that could have gone a lot tighter. I activated a bit less, well, a little bit too late. And then, I don't know, I hopped at the part where the road is a bit weirdly curved, so I still stayed wide, and my wheel activation was late. Now, luckily, I still got triple net, so that was very nice. And then this section was good. Good load tree, good landing, so that was nice. And then the 415. Honestly, I was very surprised that this was a 415. I did not see it coming. Even though, okay, my shortcut on lap 2 was very good. JaK was very good, and the U-turn was, in my terms, very good. But I still got a drop, and I still got this 415, so very surprising. So this lap could have been so much better. Very unfortunate to see. However, because of that, my run stayed together. And it started off with a no bounce exit of the cut, so that was very good. And then the exit was fine. I activated my wheelie a tiny bit too early. Could have waited a little bit longer, but it's alright, it's alright. Now, approaching the JaK on lap 3, I was pretty nervous then, because I don't know how it is for the other top time trailers on this track, but the JaK, it's awful. Oh, yeah, I hate it so much. It's a bit too inconsistent for me, because sometimes I can get it, but then I get bad bounces after it, or the wall pushes me back a bit down too early because my alignment was too tight. Just stuff like that. And sometimes you just don't go up the wall at all because you're staying too wide, so you activate your wheelie too late. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's see how this one was. This one was fine, but it definitely was the slowest one of this run. But at that point I was like, I'm glad I made it. Let's just continue. Beginning of lock turn was good, but I wasn't aggressive enough with turning to the left, so as you could see at the end I went wide. At that point I was already, my heart was doki, you know, it was pounding very, very hard at that point. I was pretty nervous. But I was like, whatever, you know, let's just continue. Line was too much to the left. That turn was fine. Let's see how my U-turn was. That kind of saved me, honestly. My U-turn was pretty good. No bounces on the two zippers. And then I got a very nice tight U-turn. This line that I got after the U-turn, I was actually afraid at first, like, ooh, that might be a bit too much to the left, but no, it was all fine. I got a chain, but the slowest chain, so whatever. At that point, I was just thinking, just give me the chain. Don't give me a drop, or else I'm probably not gonna get this up. So I just got a normal chain, and then I got air. So yeah, that saved the lap. If I didn't get air there, the lap would have been so much worse. So I'm very happy that I got air there. Let's see, the low trick was fine. That was good. And then I got triple tricks, as you can see here. Now, the turn entering the net here on lap 3, I took it very tight. Because I knew that if I want to get triple net on lap 3, I have to be pretty fast. And even then, regardless, if you're tight entering the net very early, the chance is big you're going to get triple net. Even if on lap 1, for example, your pace isn't super fast, you'll still maybe get triple net. Just because you hit the net that early, you can then spam hop until so you can get low tricks. So that's what I did here. But the disadvantages of doing it like that, though, is that your alignment approaching the right side bridge can be a bit awkward. At least for me. Because when I want to do that part on one wheelie, I aim for a very specific spot. And usually I aim for that the moment I enter the net. So when I have to realign myself during that, it's a bit more harder. But as you can see, I did it very well. I was very happy to see that I got a nice alignment. And at that point I was like, alright, this might be it, honestly. And then I didn't delay my last trick enough, so I got a high trick. But it was enough, honestly. I think if I delayed my trick a bit more, I might have been able to get a 0.8. But it is what it is, you know. 216. Overall, I'm pretty happy with that run. Empty is just such an such an inconsistent level. Even with the strategies I implement, you know, with holding my MT and then going for that weird U-turn strategy, it still took me a while. There were just a lot of, let's say, sessions for me where I just kept on failing the jack over and over and over again. Or I got bad bounces on the U-turn, because that can still happen, you know, where I got bounces on that the zippers and then my U-turn is a bit slower. Just a lot of stupid stuff was happening. But it finally happened, you know. On the weekend I spent a lot of time, but then this run I got it like in 5 minutes on that my session. So yeah, it's just funny how that sometimes works. You play for hours and hours, get nothing. Next day you play 5 minutes, you get it. And that's what happened, you know. But I'm pretty happy. I think I'm gonna beat this in the future, but not now. Right now I'm going to the next track. It's probably gonna be TF. Desert Hills is on my mind as well, and Raceway, RMC as well. But no, TF is now on the bucket list for the 149 final. But that's for the future. I'm gonna end the video now, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed the webcam. Probably gonna do this every time now. I know I've only done a time throw analysis once. I'm very behind on time throw videos, and I will catch up on those because I have some pretty nice time set, honestly, throughout the months, and I can say years, honestly, because Rainbow Road was my last time I uploaded. So look out for those. I will be making them with the time throw analysis. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.